The way we go about implementing a risk assessment framework, well, first we get senior level executive commitment to that process. You have to have that commitment. You have to have executive sponsorship, or you're going to have a lot of issues with your risk assessment. We need to have the CFO involved. We need to have the CEO involved. We need to have some of the other members of senior management. Certainly you need to have your audit committee involved. So to start off with, if you have executive level sponsorship, you're going to get off on the right foot. Then you need to make sure that you address all areas of the risk universe. Certainly all audit departments address the financial risk, but then you have to address the operational risk, you have to address the IT risk, and also regulatory compliance. So a good risk assessment will address those four areas of the audit universe, of the risk universe, and you need to make sure that you tie those risks into the goals and objectives of the company. That's why you sit down with the executives, you sit down with the CFOs and CEOs in the audit committee, you get them to lay out their goals and objectives, and then you talk about what are the risks from the company implementing those objectives. The next step to implementing a risk assessment process is to ensure that you have a risk coverage map. Once you've identified those risks and you've identified the financial, IT, operational, and regulatory compliance risks, how are those risks being covered by the company? Internal audit is going to be a piece of that. External audit will be a piece of that as well. They typically cover the financial risk. And there will be other areas of senior management and other areas throughout the company that are covering those other areas of risk. So a good risk assessment process will show that here are the areas of risk that are being addressed by other resources throughout the company, and here are those areas of risk that we would like the internal audit department to address. Based on whatever the resource constraint and the budget constraint for that internal audit department, we can then say, okay, here are our most critical areas of risk that are not being addressed by other areas of the company, and let's have the internal audit department do these audits during this year to address those areas of risk. One more step in the risk assessment process is the use of outside resources to help you address those areas of risk that you may not have the expertise in the company to address. At Stowcausey, we have members that have been involved in various types of industries, financial institutions, manufacturing, retail, all types of industries. And by engaging outside assistance, companies are able to address those areas of risk that perhaps they aren't aware of all the complexities or the hot risk areas within those functions.